Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Back here with another update on the 1A Fantasy. And I'm going to go over just a couple things here. Not a whole lot since the last video. I got a little bit more of the back end together. Some of the control panels and instruments in there. This is something I put in my original version of the 1A. This is not included in the mock, but there are controls right here in the rail car, so I included those. And I wanted to show you guys why I absolutely had to ditch that spring cylinder and get the floor back to normal. You guys can see kind of this area here where the computer is. The main unit itself, of course, the screen sits up top on once the table's done. And I can actually pull this out because this would originally, that 1x1 stud right there would actually attach right here in this spot right there. But you guys can see I have an L tile in there to fill a hole. I had a void right here on the corner, a little square that I could not fill without using this piece here, because that right there is the only attachment point this hovers. So I had to get rid of it's actually one of these, smaller one that sits down in there, a little plate. And that's okay, because where the computer sits here is kind of right in this area. There's this triangular piece here, this plate, and that actually attaches just like that, and you guys can see where it'll hook on to that, so that'll keep that in place from moving around. So I was able to solve that problem, and I knew I had another attachment point up top here, and you guys can see, had I kept the spring cylinder in there, keep in mind the floor would have been two plates higher. So I would have had to completely modify the computer. I would have had to modify this cover panel. And it just would have been a huge headache to change all that. And it wouldn't have looked very good. The floor, pretty much this whole junction in the floor right here would have been way up. And so that you guys can start to see just how necessary it was to ditch the spring cylinder so I could keep that all really low profile and still have this work. It'll work just fine. Like I said, you guys can see I have a stiff connector in there, stiff pin, so I can just turn the seat and face it. No big deal. And that slides in really nice. It holds really well, so all that's perfect. And you guys can see on the other side here, we got some of the cabinets in, and some more of the instrumentation in there. And we're getting closer. So interior stuff going good. Got the jump seat on this side, and that'll just work a lot nicer with the floor being the way it is. Having kind of this lower part here, all that just fits a little bit nicer. I could build this back up, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to. I might want to leave that be kind of a lower area. Just because this is kind of a fantasy version of the car, I do have a little bit of play. I don't have to make it exactly like something or something else, so I can... I'm probably just going to leave that be kind of a lower spot in the floor. Just makes sense for like easier entry here. When you're sitting, your legs can hang down a little bit nicer. And then the gunner's seat will have the graded floor right in front of it. So we're making progress, but I just wanted to show you guys why it was basically 100% necessary to fix that floor issue. Change a few things because it made all this just work a lot better, and I'm not having to reinvent the whole world over here and shortening a bunch of parts and just making stuff not look very good. The computer would have been really short. It's supposed to be like a older, tall, big, bulky computer from the 80s, so we got to keep that look. All that fits really nice just underneath there like it should, and I can finish building the rest of that. So just a little update. Nothing else has gone in the front. I've just been going along with the mock. So what I have done is basically going step for step with the mock. Now you guys can see I have both of my hinges in place. Really made sure to get those on there before I got too far into all this, because all this is already kind of really built up and layered. So even this top one kind of would have been a pain to get. So I made sure to check that ahead of time to see where those are going to go, and got those in their places. Now when I do the door, I'm going to build it exactly how I did on the other two cars. I am going to follow the door, just the door itself, per Lego's instructions, using the Mock's color palette. And then I know I need to adjust a few things here and there with the door interior, and of course, like, you know, it hinges on this side now, so some things have to change. But all that's pretty easy stuff that I can figure out. And if I need to, I can always look at the other car's doors and see exactly the changes that I made. But I know I followed Lego's instructions pretty much per just the face of the door. On the interior of the door, I did build per the mock, and I had to modify it to clear certain things. So all the challenges that I had on the other two cars, I know ahead of time on this car. Just a few things that were kind of a little different, like kind of changing the floor up, having to take that spring cylinder out. So a few things that I wasn't ready for, but you know, only one way to figure it out and fix it is just to start building and see where you're gonna have issues. So that's what I've been doing. Making slow but steady progress. Building a little bit every evening. So trying to make some good progress tonight, and bring you guys back for another update. So hopefully you guys are enjoying how everything's looking. I love how everything's looking. It is really cool to kind of see the 1A interior with having the gunner seat area. So that's going to be really cool. So, but that's it for this, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care.